Hey, send her 1,000 just because. Josh, how much you sent him?
You know, cool little 500.
Come on now. Come on now. Fresh, how much you sent yours?
Just her like 1,500.
Come on. We don't play no games out here. You hear me? We real deal like that.
If you've been on the internet lately, you see tricking has got completely out of hand. And you're probably thinking, J-Dub, what is tricking?
This ain't no simp shit. This just how I seen. I ain't telling a nigga to go broke on no bitch, cause I'm a hustler at the end of the day. I ain't going broke on a bitch. I mean, I'm just saying, if you got $50, me, I feel like you should get a bitch 25. If you got 100, get a bitch 50. If you got 10 and you get money, get a bitch 5.
These dudes don't look good, but they have a lot of money. They are willing to pay thousands and thousands, not even for, you know what I'm saying, to do the deed, just to get a female's attention. And it's really getting out of hand.
And this has led to a bunch of men going on the internet, making a bunch of YouTube videos, TikToks, Instagram Reels, basically saying that if you can't afford to pay for your girl's nails, her rent, hell, her car note, then you're less of a man. But these creators are also being exposed for just not being able to keep up with the lifestyles they claim to say they have. They've been put on blast for being liars, manipulative, and even abusive in some instances. So today we're going to be reacting to this video called The Pandering Male Epidemic by 4D Shams, in which he's going to be talking about this issue and a lot of issues around it. But with that being said, let's get straight into the video.
Boys want to get to know you. Men want to know what your Cash App and Zelle is. Know the difference, ladies, when one is speaking to you. It's quite simple. When you first meet a woman, you should be spending money. I don't want to hear your fucking excuse why you don't. If you cannot send Zelles, pay for her nails to get done and hair done before a first date, or pay for some Shein items or Fashion Nova, you should not be fucking dating. Two things a woman wants to hear. A Cash App and Zelle, and what's her full name and birthday. Book her a trip. If you really want her, do something different. Stop asking her to the movies or the dinner. She can drive there herself. Do something no one else is asking her for. Take her on fucking vacation, you cheap, broke bastards.
Yeah, I know. It sounds nice. It sounds great even. But that clown got exposed for abusing both of his baby mothers and not taking care of his kids. Roll the clip.
Huh?
And for anyone wondering, this is some of his work.
27 days, nigga. 27 nights. Mac 11Ks, nigga. 40 got a knife. Shout out my boy Miles Bridges.
Jesus, we barely even started the video. What the hell?
You see, for the longest period now, there's been this cycle that's been reoccurring on the internet. A male influencer will get online and post some videos where he's hitting all the right notes. He's saying all the right things. Things that might be unrealistic. Things that most of the time are too good to be true. How do I put this? They're selling a fantasy. These con artists, these predators who prey on women's desperation, are the most dangerous breed of animal. And yes, I'm calling them animals. The animal in question being a pander bear. They're panderers. Guys like Pastor Poppy Don. Yeah. They take the approach of appealing to a woman's desire for financial stability, a caretaker, someone who, when she's with, money isn't a problem. Matter of fact, this dream guy goes out of his way to spend his money on her, buying her lavish gifts, booking trips, allowing her to experience these luxury experiences.
He's saying all this, but a lot of women would love to have a man like that. No doubt. Even if they do got a job, even if they do make it for themselves, they would rather have a man pay for their stuff.
It all depends, like, what it's being based off of. Are y'all really trying to get to know each other, or did you start spending on money on her and she just liked the fact that you spending money on her?
I'm currently in a half and half relationship, so I've seen that side, but I've also seen the side where I gotta pay for everything, and I've also seen the side where the dude is sitting back doing nothing and she paying for everything, bro. It's a weird little spectrum, but
no crazy shit. I wish I could have experienced that for like once. Like, I could sit home and play 2K all day, and my hardworking wife will still come home and fix me something to eat, even because she's a nurse. She's a registered nurse and she makes money. Like, you know how many dudes do that and then end up cheating on that girl, and that girl will still take them back? That dude would drop her off at work in her car, take her car to go see other girls, and the girl won't get rid of him. Like, it's crazy. But it's rare. It's rare that it happens, but it does happen.
This archetype, this genre of pander bear usually sounds a little something like this.
Pampering my woman is a requirement. $150,000 per child when she gives birth, $150,000 every year after that until the child is 18. Her hair done once a week, nails done once a week, makeup done whenever she wants to, shopping sprees around the world, anywhere she wants to shop at and buy whatever she wants. Her finances is not maintained. She's not allowed to pay for any bills, open any doors, or take out any trash.
No, he did us.
Another 100,000. I appreciate your loyalty.
Now, why we go sit here and act like $100,000 just growing trees? I ain't never seen $100,000 in my life. And this dude talking about just handing them out like it's candy.
Crazy thing is, he can be doing all this, and she still a cheat. Money ain't everything, bro. Money will never be everything, bro. She could still feel empty. You still can't be doing the things, those other things. Money, I mean, when money ain't an issue, there's obviously gonna be other problems that money can't solve. She can buy the bag, and she'll love the bag for a couple weeks, but then she get bored of it. She'll feel sad and empty. Cause I don't know what kind of work he do. He obviously got to work extra hard if he got money like this. So I'm just assuming he's barely home. So she's home with child, buying her all this stuff and giving her all this money. So like, what if she ends up feeling empty?
My problem isn't even that. Well, it can be part of the problem. But my problem is how unsustainable a lifestyle like this is and how unrealistic it can be for a lot of people. Because to make over $100,000 a year, you got to be in the upper echelon of just like human beings in general. A lot of type of money isn't seen until people essentially get like a high value job from like a degree or a certification. Even then, they got to work their way up the ladder to even get to that. I don't even know any YouTubers that make $100,000 right now. And I know YouTubers that make dollars. So for this dude to be like, yeah, $100,000 because it's Wednesday, another $100,000 because Friday around the corner, that's a crazy standard to try to be putting upon anybody, especially impressionable young men who will go out there and just trying to slave themselves to try to make this a standard where in reality, you should just be focusing on making sure you're good and making sure everybody else is good, no matter the dollar amount.
Oh, brother, just how performative can you be? And look, I already know what some of you guys are thinking. Some of the stuff he's saying doesn't sound too crazy. If you truly are in love with your lady and you're a chivalrous man, these things will probably come naturally to you. But you see, the thing that makes this guy so distasteful is that he tries to shame regular men for not being ultra wealthy. He talks in a way that emasculates them.
How much money should a man have before he gets into a relationship?
At minimum, a man should have $300,000 US in his savings account. But if you really want to step into the real leagues when men are handling their business, you should have at least $1 million to $3 million in your savings account before you even entertain a woman, period.
So by this guy's logic, the average man should have multiple six figures saved up. And then if we really want to meet his standard, if we really want to be real men, we gotta have multiple millions of dollars saved up. Do you know how doomed society would be if we all operated under this logic? Because the average man doesn't even start making six figures a year until like their late 20s, early to mid 30s. And then you want to talk about men being millionaires? The average man doesn't start touching that type of wealth until their late 30s, early to mid 40s and above. And we're not even considering things like inflation. $1 million a couple decades ago isn't $1 million today. Like, depending on where you live, $1 million will definitely not afford you anything fancy. And this genius somehow wants to make the argument that we shouldn't even entertain women until we have that type of money. And I think the one clip that cemented in my mind that this guy is definitely a panderer, he's a pander bear.
You know what? Nah, I just thought about it. Why is he acting like women can't make money? Like, no, think about it. No. Hear me out. I'm not gonna be oblivious and act like there aren't like systemic holes that stop certain people from getting bags, but women can get to the bag too, which is why a lot of people love having dual income homes because imagine if you're making $100,000 a year. Even if she isn't making half that, that's about $140,000 annually. That's $40,000 extra that you didn't have before just because she wants to go work. Especially in today's world where everything is so expensive and it's so hard to get work, especially high-paying jobs, having two people in the house that make a decent amount of money just changes everything. So to put yourself in the position willingly to where one revenue stream is completely just not an option just because you want to have this value, this facade, is kind of ridiculous. Because even if she doesn't spend the money that she earns, that can be put away in the savings account, that can be invested, that can be put in a rainy day fund because you never know what happens. Things happen all the time. People can lose their jobs, people can lose their car, they can get into an accident, anything happens. So to have extra money to the side to just be there is just, it'd be dumb not to have. I don't know, man. These guys who act like women are just these damsels in distress that can just get away with not doing nothing, they kind of bother me. I'm not gonna lie, they kind of bother me.
Date them all and make the best provider win. And the only men that have a problem with this are the manipulators, the narcissists, the compulsive liars, the men that want you to provide for them. And to the women that say, well, I can't juggle 5 men at a time. You were dealing with a complete narcissist. This man had 5 different personalities. Every day you woke up, you see a different version of this man. You can date a different man every day of the week. Date every single one of them and may the best provider win.
If this isn't sweet talk, pander talk, telling women what they want to hear type of talk, I don't know what is. Cause look, I can respect someone who dishes it out to both genders equally. But when it's so obvious that you're trying to gain favoritism from one gender, your intentions become clear as day. And look, I already know what some of you guys might be thinking. This is all internet BS. There's no way anyone would actually buy into this sort of thinking. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you'd be absolutely wrong. You see, all a guy has to do is get online and make this sort of video.
Y'all know it's niggas out here really buying girls food, paying girls rent, real deal, paying for girls beauty maintenance, real deal, like real deal. I'm niggas. Stay legendary.
And then you'll have women in the comments eating it up. May your money flow like a river. Hi king, you good? You ate today? The only type I date. I know some soldiers in here, they would spend that on me.
That cornball ass nigga, like the type of videos that is, like them the videos that piss me off. Cause like, you know, like the cross from pandering is like the women, there are women that love being tricked on.
Right.
Like they're only good for tricking. So these are the women, you know, they see a video like this, they talking about some clock it. If he don't got 100,000, he can't do nothing with me. If we not on a yacht, if we not popping bottles, them most likely the women that end up with like 3 or 4 kids, no baby daddy, EBT, and Section 8, 9 times out of 10. Because like living that type of life, bro, you're not gonna sustain anything. All they thinking about is getting money and spending it. Don't care who it come from. Don't care what the dude look like. Long as he paying, they'll do whatever for it. And that's the state we in right now. I feel sorry if I wasn't married, but you know what I'm saying? Good luck the rest of y'all.
My problem with it is that he just calls people who don't support this lifestyle like manipulative and things like that. But I feel like the people who put themselves in this position where they are financially responsible for everything a woman does, they're the most manipulative. Because in their mind, I pay for everything you do. I pretty much fund your lifestyle. There's not a single thing you can say no to me for because I control everything. Those are usually the most manipulative ones. The ones who pay for everything you do, they're the ones who usually have a say-so in everything you do. That's why earlier I said ironic, because those are the things that they get off. The people who fund your lifestyles, they can say no to you, they can say yes to you, they can say you go left, and there's nothing you can do about it, because what? You gonna go back to being broke? This man give you $100,000 a year. You gonna listen to whatever he say.
And you see, these pander bears don't just come leading with money. They also have other tricks. There's other archetypes. There's other categories of pander bears.
Archetypes.
Not all of them sell this financial fantasy. Some of them
These
use
got different
enticing
badges?
words. For example, like Medusa's judgment. His whole thing was painting men out to be these evil beings that were just irredeemable. And I genuinely feel like with him, he targeted a very specific audience. Women who were probably leaning towards being misandrous. Because no one besides a misandrist or a woman who's been severely traumatized by men would subscribe to an idea like this.
If you was to ask a man if he would rather be in the woods with the woman or with the bear, he gonna say a woman every single time. And do you know why a man is gonna say a woman every single time?
Because they're another human
being. He got free reign.
And the reason why that clip looks so
Time out. Time out. Time out.
Double technical, the men will be shooting 2 free throws.
I don't know what I expected his reasoning for his answer to be, but gang, I did not expect that.
Wait, you could have expected that turn of events right there.
Not at all.
You went from having a regularly based conversation straight to a this is why we should hate men conversation. And then the biggest problem is the women on social media, they will jump to this. And they will be amongst themselves in the comments and, that's why if I would rather be with a man or a bear, I pick the bear. I don't even want to get back. That conversation lasted too long on the internet. You know what I'm saying? If you feel that way, if you hate men, go in the woods with a bear.
And the reason why that clip looks so tacky is because I literally had to combine 2 videos from other people's stitches because all his original content was deleted. He was banned from the TikTok platform.
Good.
But back to the clip though, this guy really tried to make the point that the most important reason, the number 1 reason why a man would choose to be with a woman in a forest instead of a bear is because he wants to essay her. Not because, you know, the bear is a wild animal that has claws and fangs and weighs several hundreds of pounds, a literal killing machine. But all that aside, it also says so much about his audience that he thinks he could post something like this and his audience will buy it. Like, I'm genuinely concerned about the survival skills of the women who tuned into him, believed the things he said, and didn't see any red flags. Because a lot of times when a guy just seems too perfect, when he has all the right answers, that's the guy you should watch out for the most, because that means he has a perfect read on you. That means he understands your psychology. He understands
I was about to say
those
people are psychopaths,
and that's exactly what puts him in an optimal position to manipulate you.
I'm a barber.
No, this
hair got in my eye.
I'm not trying to be funny.
It's just like
I was just paying attention.
you saying things that don't add up to nothing else. No, I was just.
But it was giving Fugazi though, Bookie.
Hold on, wait a minute.
ready?
Let her come back. You said it's giving what?
Fugazi.
You see how when women don't fall for their material possessions, they don't have any answer beyond that. Their whole personality is their wallet. No substance, no personality, just surface level and extremely superficial. These guys are used to what you would call pay to play. The women they're used to dealing with live their life and operate like glorified sex workers. They're used to women whose thought process is, if you can't pay for anything, you can't gain access to my time. And I think this next clip best explains the detriment of dealing with these men who are wallet first, everything else later. Now the clip is long, but I genuinely could not have explained it better than Auntie did.
It is dangerous to teach young women, especially young women under the age of 28, to be asking men for money, to require and expect money from men. It puts these young women in precarious situations. Most young women have not developed enough life experience, wisdom. The frontal lobe is not even developed. And so these attitudes I see a lot of older women espouse around men should give you money. Your existence, your beauty is value enough for that man to pay you. If he's not giving you money, then what's his use? That's problematic to teach the young girls, because most young girls do not have the experience to navigate men who are using money to manipulate them, who are
Facts. It's so many situations I've seen where like girls trap themselves in relationships because person they falling for them because they provide. I call it the honeymoon phase. The honeymoon phase, they're providing as much as possible and they love it. But once that honeymoon phase falls apart and you start to be with this person consistently and you start to see things that you don't necessarily like, even if it's enough for you to leave, sometimes they just won't because they're put in a position where, hey, as long as he's paying my bills, I'm fine. I can put up with the stuff he's doing. And that's not how you should navigate a relationship. And especially when you're young, especially when you're a young woman trying to navigate the world in your early 20s and whatnot, these things matter because the people you end up talking to, the relationships you build, will set a foundation for the rest of your life if you're not careful enough.
I've seen many times where men would manipulate women into a security money-wise, and he would use that to then trap said woman with child and won't let her leave. And he will do something and will physically abuse, but she won't leave because she's scared she won't have enough money to support her and her child. So she stays there because she knows he has the money to support them. It happens more than like, it needs to be talked about more, but this happens like a lot.
And it happens young too. It's usually the young people, the people who had their children in they like around the 18 to 20, 22 yard. Those are the people who usually are victims to this the most. So please, if you are able to, be able to educate the people around you to make sure they don't fall into these traps, men and women alike, because this is a universal topic. I do personally feel like it happens to women more, but like this is a topic that needs to be taught on both ends, because a man should not be able to subconsciously, whether they're doing it on purpose or not, be able to fall into these manipulative tactics in order to get women.
A lot of people don't like to talk about it, but this is like this type of activity from the women being tricked on and men being tricks. This is all what I like to call fatherless activity. If you have a father in your life, you're less likely to do this stuff because your father will teach you those principles. He will teach his daughter, hey, you can't depend on a man. You have to learn how to get out the mud yourself. A good father will teach you, hey, you got to take care of your woman. That don't mean do this and that and buy her everything that's expensive and waste all your money and not have a future. When you have a father in your life to tell you those things, it's important. It lays down principle, and a lot of kids growing up are missing that, and then they have these bitter single mamas that is telling them, you buy that girl whatever she want. You got the moms telling the little girls, hey, you only use men for their money. It keeps happening, and we're going further and further and downhill.
All right, with that being said, that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed our reaction, and what do you guys think? Do you think transactional relationships like the ones we see in this video can lead to actual healthy relationships? I would like to see what y'all think in the comments below. With that being said, this is going to be the Afterthought Duo. I've been T-Banes. This has been my co-host J-Dub, and with that being said, we will see you in the next video. Peace.